So let's talk about the bullpen now in 2021. Which teams have the best bullpens? A lot of teams have really spent some money this offseason, either improving the depth of their bullpen or the quality with power arms, or both in some cases. And there are some super duper bullpens now in baseball. Some teams already had elite bullpens who might have needed a little bit of retooling, and some teams just went from an average bullpen to a power bullpen, particularly in teams that needed it. So I want to go over my list for the top 5 bullpen, and there's other teams that could make this list. I'm sure of it, but I think these stand out as the top elite bullpens, and I think I want to go over some of the names that are in these bullpen, and I think you'll see kind of why what my logic is behind it. So, but again, if you have a different team, put them in the comments down below. Let me know. I want to know who you're thinking and why you're thinking and so on, because obviously it's hard to pick 5 out of 30, but some of them are more obvious than others. But with that said, let's get to. Oh, by the way, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you enjoy good baseball content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's really helpful to the channel's growth. If you enjoy the videos, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see future videos, and I got a bunch in the queue already, hit that notification as well. So I think you're going to enjoy them. Let's get to the list. 5th place, Milwaukee Brewers. Personally, some names: J.P. Frierson. I'm looking at my baseball book. Brent Suter, Freddie Peralta, and Brad Boxberger. Okay, but notwithstanding those guys, any team that has Devin Williams and Josh Hader in their bullpen, top bullpen. Okay, and add those other guys to Williams and Hader, you're talking about a really powerful bullpen. So, and this bullpen, I think, in my opinion, makes up for the lack of quality starting pitching. They have a couple of young guys, and from Corbin Burns to a couple of other guys, but I think the bullpen right now is the strength. Hopefully, they can all come together and really perform, a powerful starting and relief corps over there. But that remains to be seen. But to me, Milwaukee Brewers have the 5th place bullpen, so or in 5th in the top 5. 4th is Washington Nationals. They've added incrementally across the board, from the starting rotation to the offense and the bullpen too. From T.J. McFarland, who else do we have here? We got Kyle Finnegan, Luis Avalon, Austin Voth, Will Harris, Daniel Hudson, Tanner Rainey, and they've added stud reliever Brad Hand as their closer. That is a quality bullpen too. And look at the starting rotation. They've got Scherzer, Patrick Corbin, Steven Strasburg, and they added John Lester. Okay, that's a good 4. And I think maybe Joe Ross might be their 5th. But nevertheless, you add this bullpen too. You add Brad Hand, the power arm. They're going to be. Don't be surprised, even though they didn't make as many moves at the high end as maybe the Braves did, or the Mets did, or the Phillies did. Don't be surprised if they win the division. They could easily do that. The division, I think, it could be within 2 or 3 games for the first 4 teams, not including Miami. So. But again, Miami made the playoffs last year. But I'm serious. I would like to see them make it in a 162-game season instead of a 60-game season. So, but we'll see about that. But Washington's 4th. 3rd, San Diego Padres. I mean, they have an A+ this offseason, in my opinion. So, and I'm going to grade all the offseason, division, teams by division, and so on. And I'll have videos done on that as well. I wanted to wait until all the major free agents are signed. Jake Odorizzi's still out there. There's a couple other guys. So I didn't want to give incomplete grades. So I wanted to make sure that everybody's out there. So it'll definitely be out before the season starts. But San Diego, who do we have here? Dan Altavilla, Javi Guerra, Craig Stroman, Austin Adams, Emilio Pagan, Drew Pomeranz, and they've added Keone Keela and Mark Melancon, 2 good solid veteran relievers, to go with the ridiculous additions they made in the starting rotation with Joe Musgrove, Blake Snell, and Yu Darvish. I mean, and then you add Dinelson Lamet and these other young guys that they have. You're talking about a power, just a machine. A machine, and they're clearly going for it. They're going after the Dodgers this year. So I would not be surprised either way, I wouldn't be surprised if the Padres won the division or the Dodgers. I mean, they're both top-of-the-line elite teams now. And it's going to be fun to watch either way. So they're number 3. Number 2, the Los Angeles Dodgers. You know, they brought back some guys, they added some guys. I mean, who do they have now? Scott Alexander, James Pazos. And remember, they have their starting rotation has enough depth for these young guys to go into the bullpen, like Tony Gonsolin. You know, it could be Dustin May. It could be Julio Urias, depending on how well their starters do. They have crazy depth, and even if they're long relief guys, I mean, you add Joe Kelly, Blake Treinen. Okay, they brought him back. Corey Knebel, acquired him in a trade, and then you've got who else we have? Brewster Gratterall, and still Kenley Jansen, who's their closer. I would not be surprised if they acquired like a top of the line elite reliever if Jansen continues on that decline he's been going through, going on riding for a little while now. Don't be surprised if they bring in a top power closer like a Josh Hader or somebody else, or an Aroldis Chapman or somebody who can take some of the load off of Jansen, particularly if the Dodgers are kind of in trouble. Don't be surprised if they do that. But this is an elite bullpen, number 2, and the top bullpen in baseball to me is the New York Yankees. I know I'm a Yankee fan. But if you watch my other videos, I don't have them leading the categories in almost anything. The bullpen, I give it to them. And the main reason why you go from, and again, this is a similar situation to the Dodgers where they have guys who could be spot starters, but they're going to be important long relievers. And I think the Yankees have enough guys who could be long relievers at this point, who actually need to be long relievers because not only are they either coming back from injury, but going from 60 innings last year to 160, 180, 200, to me it's insane. I don't even want Garrett Cole to do it because the last thing we want is Garrett Cole's arm to fall off and have to get Tommy John and all this stuff. So, but let's see what do we have here. I mean, Tyler Lyons, you have Mike King, okay, you have Brooks Kriske, who could be one of the quiet power guys this year. He could be this year's Chad Green. Luis Sessa, Johnny Lozano, Jonathan Loaizaga. Julius Chasino they brought in for depth. Albert Abreu, young arm, could be Luis Gil, could be Luis Medina, Zach Britton, Justin Wilson, newly acquired, newly signed from the left side, and newly signed from the right side, Darren O'Day. And then you add Chad Green, and then you add Aroldis Chapman. To me, that is elite and deep. Okay? And again, I didn't even mention Clark Schmidt or some of these other guys, Domingo Germán, depending on what happens with him. He could be a long reliever. Clark Schmidt could be a long reliever. David Garcia could be a long reliever. All of them could be part of the bullpen at some point. So the depth is there, and I think this particular one is deeper than the Padres, deeper than the Dodgers. So I give the edge to the Yankees here. Let me know what you think. Let me know who your top 5 is. I'd be curious to see. And again, if you enjoy this, hit that thumbs up, and be on the lookout for some more videos because they're coming. Have a good week, guys.